Jenny and John were friends since they were kids. They did many things together. They went to the same school, to the same church, and also they played in the same park all weekends. In short, they grew up together because they were neighbors. They lived in a beautiful town. One day, when they finished high school, John had to move to another town, which was something really difficult for them. 3 years passed, and one unexpected day, they met again, and it was, of course, a very special day for them. That day, they promised never to part again. John proposed Jenny, and of course, Jenny said yes. They married and lived happily ever after. Let's take a look to the grammar presentation for the simple past with be. For affirmative statements, we have the structure subject plus be plus complement. For example, I was famous. You were famous. He, she, it was famous. We were famous. They were famous. For negative statements, we have this structure, subject plus be plus not plus complement. Let's see some examples. I wasn't famous. You weren't famous. He, she, it wasn't famous. We weren't famous. They weren't famous. Now let's take a look to yes/no questions. The structure for this is be plus subject plus complement. And some examples are: was I famous? Were you famous? Was he famous? Was she famous? Was it famous? Were we famous? Were you famous? Were they famous? Let's continue with short answers. For affirmative, we have yes, I was. Yes, you were. Yes, he, she, it was. Yes, we, you, they were. For negative, we have no, I wasn't. No, you weren't. No, he, she, it wasn't. No, we, you, they weren't. WH questions. The structure for WH questions is WH word plus be plus subject plus complement. Example: when was I famous? Where were you famous? Why were you? Why were they? Why were we famous? Now let's take a look to the simple past with regular and irregular verbs. And we have here the grammar presentation for this. For affirmative, we have subject plus verb in past plus complement. And some examples are: I went to Mexico last year. You came yesterday. He moved last week. She died last month. It died last month. We met in a restaurant. You did it well. They called me. Now let's see the negative statements. The structure is subject plus didn't plus base form of the verb plus complement. Some examples: I didn't go to Mexico last year. You didn't come yesterday. He didn't move last week. She didn't die last month. It didn't die last month. We didn't meet in a restaurant. You didn't do it well. They didn't call me. Now let's see yes/no questions. The structure is did plus subject plus base form of the verb plus complement. And some examples are: did I go to Mexico last year? Did you come yesterday? Did he move last week? Did she die last month? Did he die last month? Did we meet in a restaurant? Did you do it well? Did they call me? Now let's move to some short answers. The structure for affirmative we have: yes, I did. Yes, you did. Yes, he did. Yes, she did. Yes, it did. Yes, we did. Yes, they did. For negative we have no, I didn't. No, you didn't. No, he didn't. No, she didn't. No, it didn't. No, we didn't. No, they didn't. Now let's see WH questions. The structure that we are going to use is WH word plus did plus subject plus base form of the verb plus complement. For example, when did I go to Mexico? Why did you move to Japan? When did she move here?